Yo, what's good, duelists? So today I wanted to do a remote YCS breakdown for LATAM or Latin America. I don't know if I'm saying that right whenever I do, but we are going to go over this. Even though I already posted today for just overall regional and some deck lists from this, I wanted to actually officially go over all of the YCS deck lists before everyone has to play in their like regionals or whatever events tomorrow. And even going into Phantom Nightmare, I feel like there's a lot of stuff that we can predict about the future meta by looking at this one. So, with that being said, we only have one list that actually wasn't on here, and that'll be 31st Fabio de Paul. I'm not gonna even Fornos. I took up to Spanish 4, so it's actually a crime. But we'll get into first place right now. So this is Danger Tearlament, Horus. Horus being a very good package right now, and just way better than the OCG where they have Max C. We don't have to worry about cards like that, so I do think the Horus package is way better over here in the TCG. And it was a pretty standard deck, so we have 41 cards. Sharon, basically all the tiers. You got to run 3 tier cash. You got to run 2 Mali. You got to run the Shizus. I guess maybe you don't, but I think you got to. 3 Imseti, the Horus, 3 Fenrir, 1 Shyama, 1 Bigfoot. Probably the coolest thing about this list is he actually chose to run 3 Nuzzy and Bigfoot as his only danger package. Can we say anything of like why we would choose Bigfoot? I mean, it's a level 8 and we play Horus cards, so that's probably why. And we all know Nuzzy is king because she is a Dark Aqua. Also, interesting thing about the lore is I'm pretty sure Bigfoot and Nuzzy actually fight, as you can see in one of the Danger cards. Dangers have some pretty cool lore to them. And then we have 3 of the Tier Field spell, 3 Scream, 2 Sarcophagus, so we're not running 3 Sarcophagus. That's kind of interesting. I would think that you would run 3, just because why not? Especially with Droll, I think Sarcophagus is a really good card into Droll. You can still use Zombie Vampire. Wow. With that being said, I just noticed he doesn't even play rank 8s. So he's really just playing Bigfoot as for its effect or its attack. We do have a lot of big body. And then for the extra deck, or I guess I should go through these 3 Droplet. So Droplet being a card that's already being played. We know this card gets a lot better into Voiceless Voice because it doesn't target. 3 Celic, 1 Meta Noise, so running 4 Tear Traps. 1 Trivi Karma, gotta run that. Kaleido, the Destiny Hero for Mali, and we're just running Mali, no denier. 1 Mud Dragon, 1 Dragos Tapelia, 1 Garura, Beatrice, totally awesome, and 2 Bahamut Shark. I'm like, how is that even accurate? But you can put back the totally awesome with its own effect, and I'm sure that comes up, and then you make the second Bahamut Shark. I'm not sure how much it comes up where you would make 2 Bahamut Sharks in the same turn if you get hand trapped or something, but maybe it does. You do have Mud Dragon and Rhino as your only 2 level 4 waters. And then we have IP Masquerena, SP, Dark, access code, Celine for the access code, and then of course Sprint for the Merly. We have 3 Drolls on the side, 3 Nib, that might be really common, 1 Scatter Shot for time, 1 Feather Duster, 2 Lightning Storms for Rescue Ace is what these cards are best versed in my opinion. 1 Cosmic, that'll probably go up to 3 next format, or even 2, just for Fire King Island, lots of overlap. Called by the Grave, and 3 Super Poly. Then we have second place being Vanquish Soul. One of the decks I kind of forgot about Vanquish Soul being one of the Shifter decks, because really they've been running DD Crow over Shifter for a while now. But Shifter is definitely a really good card, especially if you're in versus Tier in the finals. I bet you wish you opened up that Shifty, because then it would have been over. 3 Raisin, 2 Borger, 1 of the Dark level 4 that adds the spell, 1 Caesar, the big boss, 1 Pantera. I'm actually not sure what Pantera does. 2 of the new guy, 3 Fenrir, 1 Rise Heart, 3 Shifter, 3 Ash, 1 Ghost Bell, 3 of the spell, and then 1 of the other spell, 2 Small World, 3 Prosperity. Well, I'm surprised he's running Small World. So a lot of Searchers in this deck, at least in his build. He's running like 5. 3 Super Poly, So Super Poly being the tech of choice. So our techs for this deck are 3 Shifter, 3 Ash, 1 Bell, 3 Super Poly, 2 Talents, 3 Imperm. So that's 15 cards, right? 3, 6, 7, 10, 12, 15. It's a lot of cards for a 40 card deck. And that's not even including what could be even more non-engine, Prosperity and Small Worlds. Also running the Vanquish Soul Trap. It's definitely really interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Vanquish Soul might, like, I don't know. Everyone's just talking about Kashira, but, like, you know, this deck can play 3 Fenrir 2, and the Rise Heart has, is kind of just as good as, like, Scared Claw, Cash, and, you know, like, other decks. Rise Heart is definitely really good support for this deck, and being able to play 3 Fenrir still, just like with the tier deck, it's kind of broken. 3, and I think Fenrir is like an okay card going into next format. I mean, Duel being prevalent makes it worse. It's not the best going second card. Not the best. Like, it's probably a way better going first card. So I feel like that is one thing that falls off with this deck. Is just like Fenrir gets worse. But I mean, playing Shifter, you're a Shifter deck. Come on now. 3 of the Link, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 SP Little Knight. Our Super Poly targets Mud Dragon, Garura, Dragostapelia. And then we have Gear Field, and this requires 2 warrior monsters with different attributes. This will probably change to, say, a you know, the one that hits Baron and Boral Savage Dragon. Like, I think it's like a Dark Dragon Synchro monster and a warrior monster. That'll probably get swapped out for this, or he'll just cut another card. 1 Abyss Dweller, Battle and Boxer, 2 Zoos for the Zeus, and a Typhon. 3 Droll Knockbird, 2 Effect Veiler, 1 Bell as our side techs. I wonder if Droll will actually make it to the main. The thing is about Ash in this deck is you kind of have to play it too. It's even better than in like Fire Kings as kind of engine sometimes, because it being fire is just so relevant. And then Kurikara, I feel like will make an appearance in the future too with this deck. I think Kurikara gets a little better next format. 2 Cosmic Cyclone in the side. 2 Book of Eclipse, 2 Evenly Matched, and 3 Magic Deflector. So Magic Deflector is a card I've seen some people testing. I always just think this card is kind of terrible. Like, especially when you can, there's just so many cooler cards that you could side that are more floodgatey. But it's definitely worth trying Magic Deflector. So I get why they did. All right, and then we have 3rd place Arnold with a Labrynth. It's pretty nice. So we're playing Shyama, and what else? We're playing, obviously, or not so obvious, I would say, is Arias, the Labrynth Butler, the new card. A lot of people aren't playing this now that Transaction Rollback has came out. 3 Chandelier, 3 Torby, 3 Kuklok, or 2 Kuklok, sorry. 3 Nibiru, 3 Ash Blossom, Field Spell, Called by the Grave, 2 Prosp, 3 Extrav. Just insane how many pots we have. Like, so unreal. And by the way, definitely if you do open Ash Blossom, I would probably Ash Blossom like Extrav, Prosp, going into next format. You just don't want to give them that many cards. It's just too many cards. So if you, like, I don't know, we used to just like not Ash these cards too, because like versus Rescue Ace, if you're playing blind, you know, Prosperity, you'd probably rather hit the emergency. But now I'm probably ashing Prosp a lot blind. Could get punished by the Silent Forcer deck because you probably just rather hit the level 6 with the Ash Blossom. But I just think it's just too insane. And then I'm always ashing Extrav. Giving them 2 cards is just like, they basically just have both traps. And then we're only playing 2 Welcome Labyrinth, 3 Big Welcome, 3 Transaction Rollback, 3 Imperm, and 1 Escape of the Unchained. And then for our extra deck, we have to play a lot of multiples because we have 3 Extravagance. We play 3 of the Yama, 3 Soul, 1 of the Big Red Link 3, Link 4 Escape, 1 Mudcracker, 1 Dark, 1 SP Little Knight, 2 Chaos Angel, and 2 Typhon. So I'm sure the list of priority would be the multiples are most important for the extra. 1 Magnamut, 2 Druid's Worm, 1 both of the Shizus that are legal still, 3 Bell, 2 Droll, so we're seeing a lot of Droll and Bell on these sides. So that's a bad sign for Labrynth because those cards only get better versus the newer decks. 3 Evenly Match, 1 D-Barrier, 1 Eradicator as our normal trap floodgates. Okay, and I'm definitely going to be testing Lab a lot more in the future, just in case I do play it, because Fire King obviously has a good matchup, but I still want to be prepared. And then we have another Vanquish Soul actually in top 4, which is crazy, but we already went through Vanquish Soul, so won't go too in depth. We'll just go over the differences when we run into a deck that's the same as one that we've already went over. So we see the same ratios of Vanquish Soul monsters, except we're running 2 of the level 4 Dark. All the spells are the same except 2 Durandal. We're running 3 Prosp. We're not running Small World. I think the other list was also running Talents. We still have it open. So yeah, see that the other list is still running Talents. 3 Prosp in both. So not much different with this difference with the spells, just more of the, we're not running 1 Bell, obviously. And then we're also running There Can Only Be One as a Floodgate. Are the extra decks pretty similar? We're also not running Super Poly as our tech. So that gives us way more room for the extra deck. You see we're playing Baguska and Abyss Dweller on top of Shifter. Cerberus, Baron de Flor. Pretty nice. And then we're running 3 Phantasme, 3 Nibiru, 3 Bell, 1 Feather Duster, 2 Lightning Storm, 3 Summon Limit. And I remember I went over this deck already too in my other video. Fire King Island for top 8. That's weird that, why did I read that as Fire King Island? Oh well. Snake Eye. Oh wow, this is actually really cool. So it's Snake Eye, Ernesto got top 8 with Snake Eye, Fire King prior to Phantom Nightmare, and he's running basically budget Popular or Populous. If this card is added to your hand except drawing it, you can special summon this card. And then once per chain, up to thrice per turn. If a monster is sent to the graveyard, increase or decrease its level by 1. But what's really cool about this card is it's a tuner. So that's pretty insane, and it's like whatever level you want. I think this card is really cool, and I would consider running it, but the problem is you only have 3 Bonfire, and that's the only card that adds this. Besides, the new Rank 4 would also be another card that could add this. That'd be cooler if it's like more searchable like that, then I could justify it. But I couldn't justify it in like when Populous comes out. There's just no way. So we have 2 Runics, 3 Ponix, 3 Kirin, 1 Barong, 1 Arvada, and only 1 Snake Eye Ash. So instead of, which I've seen a lot of people like kind of play with in the future, is instead of running max Ash, we're just running max Diabellstar, so we have less normal summons in the deck. Definitely like something to consider. As our non-engine, we have 3 Fenrir, 3 Ash, 2 Droll Knockbird. He's playing Fire King, so he's like, yeah, I know about cutting off the Fire King engine. Shit's nice. 2 Sanctuary, 2 Island, 1 Skyburn. So we're actually running all of the spells with Circle as well. Prior, just kind of more resembling the OCG, but I think you have to do this when you're only playing Fire King cards like this. I mean, you're playing a low Snake Eye, but it's no Populous. 3 Bonfire, 3 Wanted, 1 Original, 1 Called By, 3 Imperm. And then the extra deck, we do have some sauce. A lot of these cards are mandatory. Nightingale, definitely a card worth considering next format because everyone's playing Zealantis. So Nightingale being able to guarantee that you're not going to die that turn is actually way better than you would think. So that shit is worth testing. A lot of these cards are auto-includes besides maybe Selene and Access Code. Baron de Flor, because we're running, cute Firefox. And then we're running number 1 Infection Buzzkill. Once per turn during your standby phase, you can attach 1 card from your opponent's graveyard to this as a material. You can only use each effect once per turn. If XYZ summoned, you can look at your opponent's extra deck and send 1 card from it to the graveyard. You can detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 card your opponent controls. Destroy it, then if you destroy it, a face-up monster inflict damage. Oh, so it's kind of a time card too. I think this card's pretty cool. Has a lot of overlap being a time card and also kind of useful as a unicorn. Zeus, Typhon, and the Fire King. And we have 3 Nib, 3 Juris Worm, 2 Bell, Feather Duster, Lightning Storm, only 1 and 1. And we're not running Thrust, which is also something I'm surprised I don't see more of. But when you're running into Omni Negates, I probably would rather just have the cards themselves and not Thrust. 2 Cosmic, 2 Soul Release. So he's actually playing for the mirror already, siding Soul Release. And then 1 Subversion Snake Eye for going second. Yeah, I mean, when you're maxing out on Diabell Stars, it makes sense. So that was Ernesto, so I'll go over to Lewis. So there's 40 cards. Differences here, we're running Jet Synchron. Was the other list running Barong? Yeah, he was. We're running 2 Arvada. We're not remaining Droll, we're running 2 Valor and 2 Bell instead. Interesting, we're not running Circle on this list, but we are running the same amount of islands. We're running 3 Super Poly in the main and 2 Talents and a Called By. Was this running Called By? Yep, both lists running Called By, 1 running Talents though. And in this extra deck, we're playing Anima. Our only Super Poly targets are Garura and Mud Dragon. We're playing Baron de Flor and Formula because we're running Jet instead of Firefox. And we're not running Bonfire in this deck, which I kind of like this list better for current format for sure. I don't know about Jet in this deck though, but especially if you're not maxing out on Black Witch, I'm surprised he doesn't play something to like discard the Jet. Like, how do you get rid of the Jet if you add it off Ash? That's what I would wonder. I guess you just normal summon it, right? Yeah, so 3 Droll, 3 Nib, 1 Feather Duster, 2 Lightning Storm, 3 Cosmic. This is definitely what I expect more. And then 3 Crossout Designator. 3 Designator is definitely something I've considered, being that, like, why would I not just, like, make my end board the best with, like, Designator when I know I'm going first, rather than, like, flip out an anti-spell? Like, I'd probably rather just have my fucking board and a Kieran in hand, guaranteed, than play, like, pass with my opponent. That sounds awful. Okay, Pedro with Spright. I definitely want to see some fucking Spright lists. One interesting thing is Mannequin Cat on Droll summons Black Witch. Let's go. That sounds crazy. 3 Spright Blue, 3 Spright Jet, 2 Spright Red, 1 Carrot, 2 Angler, 3 Beaver, the Melfi package, the Fiends. These guys can make Yama. These guys are cool. 3 Ash, 2 Bell, 2 Valor. We're running Gamma Burst, 3 Starter, 3 Pros, Called By, 2 Talents. So we see 2 Talents coming up a lot. No one actually committing to 3. The Fiend, continuous spell, the special summon it. 3 Imperm, and 1 Double Cross. So we are running Double Cross, and what's crazy about this list is no Smashers. Smashers has been power crept and fallen off by Double Cross. Pretty crazy. 1 Herald. One interesting ruling that is good to know is, because a lot of people think that, like, because you can't Ash Fire King Runics, that means that the monster Fire King Runics would destroy wouldn't be sent to the graveyard. So, like, sent to the graveyard, so it would still go to the graveyard if Herald of Arclight is on the field. It's not true. It would get banished. The reason being is because, like, Ash is checking the moment you activate it, like what is that effect doing? Is it sending? But when the monster is destroyed at that moment, it is being sent somewhere, so it is being sent to the graveyard, so it would get banished. Definitely a good ruling to keep in mind. If you are considering playing Herald, it's actually, like, makes it better, right? 1 Melfi, 2 Gigantic Spright. This deck's also really cool, especially if Cash is so popular. Like, having the Melfi becomes broken again versus Fenrir, and we saw a lot of Fenrir in these decks, so I think that's probably why, or at least one reason this deck did really well, better going first. 2 Gigantic Spright, 1 Mannequin Cat, 1 Obi Masu, I don't know, Samurai Champloo, 1 Mosquito, 1 Downerd, 1 Zeus, 1 Typhon, 2 Sprint for our 2 Angler, 1 Amaraj, a Hita, and SP Little Knight. So we're playing Hita over Dark. It's kind of crazy, but definitely think that trend will continue. We're siding 3 Shifter, 3 Droll, powerful Floodgates, best Floodgate hand traps going in the next format. 2 Moonlight, 1 Scattershot, and then our Rescue Ace target Feather Duster, 2 Storms, and 3 Cosmic. Yeah, I like this side a lot. Basically spell and trap removal and hand traps, and then a time card. That's all this side is. Then we have our first Rescue Ace deck. So, Rescue Ace kind of underperforming, I would say, for this remote. 3 Black Witch, 2 Turbulence, 2 Preventer, 3 Hydrant, 1 Airlifter, 3 Fenrir. Again, we see Fenrir. So maybe Fenrir's a little better than I'm giving it credit for. 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Bell, 1 Rhoda. So we're running 3 Bell, 3 Ash. We were really scared of Lab for this remote YCS. It makes sense with transaction rollback being at 3. And I think that's why we don't see, Lab was actually just the best performing deck. I was going to say that's probably why Lab didn't perform too well, but maybe Lab would have had more spots if people weren't maining 3 Bell, right? I mean, it would only help, right? But yeah, that's crazy or maybe that's why I didn't go so far in Top Cut is because a lot of the Top Cut players were prepared for Lab. Because we only see 1 in top 4 and then only 1 in top 16 again. So I think that would make sense for why I didn't convert that well into Top Cut. 1 Rhoda, 1 Original, 3 Wanted, 3 Super Poly. So a lot of Super Poly in these lists. For those thinking of not making the Zeolantis when you have Ambler Whale and Flamebridge to play around Super Poly, you might want to rethink that. 3 Prosperity, 1 Alert, 1 Rescue, 3 Emergency, 1 HQ. Basically all the cards you have to play. And then 3 Imperm. So our techs are Fenrir, Ash, Bell, Super Poly, and Imperm for 15 cards and 42. But we are running 3 Black Witch, so that definitely helps. 1 Typhon, Super Poly targets being Mud Dragon and Garura. 1 Amirage, Linkuriboh, IP Masquerena, Little Knight, Dark, Hita, Sunlight Wolf, Phoenix, Selene, Heat Soul, Access Code, and then we are running Appaloosa. Appaloosa is really good when you go with the generic extra deck package, especially versus Tier Elements. I feel like it's so necessary. And then for the side deck, we have 3 Droll, 3 DD Crow, 1 Called By, 1 Feather Duster, 2 Lightning Storm, 2 Cosmic, and 3 Solemn Judgment for going first. Alright, and then we have another Spright list. This one looks like Evil Twin Runic Spright. So that's kind of crazy that a Runic deck actually did do pretty well. We're running 3 of the blue one, 2 of the pink, 1 of the frost, 3 blue, 2 jet, 1 red, 1 carrot, 2 of the continuous spell, only 1 starter. That's pretty common with this deck actually. 1 dispelling, 2 fountain, 3 tip, 3 destruction, 3 flashing fire, 3 curses. I wonder if they were going second. 3 slumber, 2 talents, 3 droplets, and then 3 evenly matched, which is why I'm curious if they were choosing second. Because 3 evenly in the main is crazy, especially when you don't have a battle phase, right? Oh, yo, that's crazy. They're probably activating this at the end of their opponent's battle phase. Either that or they were just going second, right? Which is what I imagine. For the links, 2 of the blue guy, 1 of the pink, 1 Sprint, 1 IP Masquerena, 1 Little Knight, 1 Mudcracker, 1 Unicorn, 1 Griffin, 1 Unchained Link 4, and then the Evil Twin Link 4, 1 Gigantic, 2 Hugin, and 1 Fangs. And then for the side, so we're also not playing Smashers in this deck. We're only playing Starter with our 2 mini negates. Side, time card, Red Resonator, 3 Ash, 3 Droll. So we see, again, 3 Droll. 2 Jerusalem, 1 Magnemite, 1 Feather Duster, 1 Called By for going first. A Smashers, because we didn't main it. 2 Cosmic Cyclone. Okay. And then we have Mannadium. So our first Mannadium deck. It's so many different decks. It's actually crazy. So for this deck, we have 3 Roomheart, 3 Meek, 2 Starfrost, Samsara. This card's broken. 2 Redcart. I don't know. I forgot the name of that card. Scareclaw Cash, 3 Fenrir. Like I said, Scareclaw Cash is also really good with Fenrir in this deck. These decks I would actually play Fenrir in, but like just as by itself, I don't really like it. 3 Ash, 3 Droll already in the main. So the decks that don't, the decks that get hit by Droll like are the ones maining Droll, which is funny. 3 Calarium, 2 Obsession, actually 2 of the Scareclaw field spell, 2 of the Scareclaw Reborn, 1 called by, 2 droplets, 2 talents, 3 impermanents, and 1 Mannadium counter trap. And for the extra, we have 1 of the level 6 Synchro, the level 8 Mannadium Synchro, Visa's Synchro, I guess, Dispatter, the Stardust, the special is the level 2, Crimson Dragon, Baron de Fleur, Chaofeng, or not Chaofeng, Chen Yang. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. 1 Omega, and then 2 of the Fusion, Astrolaud, 1 Typhon, 1 Scareclaw Lightheart, 1 SP Little Knight, 1 Cross Sheep, and that's it for the extras. Pretty cool. I like the Omega package a lot in Mannadium. 2 Bell, 2 DD Crow, 1 Feather Duster, 3 Cosmic, 2 Designator, 2 Thrust, 2 Evenly, and 1 Dweller in the side. He side an extra deck cards. Let's go. That's nice. Definitely good. Maybe, I mean, with this top cut, I would have wished I had Dweller in my extra. Then Kashira. So another deck that everyone's waiting to see how it performs next format because Shifter is so powerful. 3 Unicorn, 3 Fenrir, 1 Ogre, 3 Riseheart, 1 Scareclaw Cash, 3 Shifter, 3 Ash, 2 Moonlight, 1 Bell, 2 Droll, Terraforming, Desires, 3 Prosperity, 3 of the Cash Field spell. This card gets a lot worse with Droll. 3 Theosis, 3 Birth, the Kashira Trap because we're running Ogre in the main, 3 Impermanence. So our non-engine is Shifter, Ash, Moonlight, 3, 6, 9, 11, 14 hand traps. Basically, we're just running hand traps as our text and non-engine. And that's not including Fenrir. It's funny because in this deck, no one counts Fenrir as like tech or like non-engine. But in everything else, it's like a powerful card going second, which I disagree. 1 DeFleur, 1 Zeus, 1 Typhon, 1 Kashira Shangri-La. I don't know why I'm messing up with these names. 1 Annihilator, 1 Dracosac, 1 Big Eye, 1 Time Card, the Red Eyes, Excess Code Talker, Heat Soul, Little Knight, IP, Link Spider, ×2 for the G Golem combo. Heat Soul combo. Definitely going to get worse with Duel 2, I think, that combo. And it just gets worse if people start manning Neb, which I also think will be more common. 2 Bell, 1 Droll, 3 Eclipse, 3 Talents, 1 Feather Duster, 2 Lightning Storm, and 3 Solemn Judgments for going first. And then we have another Fire King Snake Eye. Okay, we're going to have to close out on some of these, because now it's getting lost in the sauce. Okay, so this was top 16 still. We have a 40 card main deck. What are the differences? So we're running 2 Arvada. We're running 2 Ash, 2 Black Witch, 1 Moonlight, 1 Droll, 1 Nib, 3 Valor. So our techs are 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 12. 12 non-engine. For going second, we're actually running 2 Original, which is something I kind of like. That card's just so broken, and sometimes especially with Populous, it's I want one for follow-up too. I like the first effect a lot more than the second effect. One's not a normal summon. And then we're actually running 3 Prosperity in the Fire King list, which is crazy. More rank 8s with the Orcust rank 8. Running the Selene access code, and we're running Anima and Amirage. Lots of links 1s. 3 Bell, 2 Droll, 2 Crow, 1 Moonlight, 1 Magma, 1 Druid's Worm, 1 Pankratops, 2 Lightning Storm, and 2 Cosmic in the side. So that's crazy. And then we have another Rescue Ace finally. So also it's crazy because the other list wasn't running 3 Impulse Fire Engine. This one is, and it's main decking 3 Droll. Only 40 cards as well with 3 Prosperity, of course. 3 Black Witch, 3 Wanted. So this deck seems uber consistent for sure. Maybe lacking on the interrupts because it's really just 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, 3 Droll. Then Impulse if you count that, but I wouldn't. And then we have Link Rebo, Anima, anything else? It's basically just default, generic, every Link you could think of, and then Typhon. 3 Bell, 3 Nib, 1 Feather Duster, 2 Lightning Storm, 3 Book of Eclipse. So people definitely were afraid of Pearly, I think. I mean, it's good versus like tier and stuff too. 3 Solemn Judgment for going first. Then Floowandereeze, our first Floowandereeze list. Anything cool about this Flu list? I mean, it's like we all know how to build Flu, right? I mean, I know some of you fucking hate this deck with like every ounce of your being, but I'm sure you know how to build a Flu deck. Is that I'm not gonna go into it. All right, yeah, but Flu's kind of cool. I don't know. It's not kind of cool. I just played on Master Duel during the grind, and that's like what made me appreciate some of the plays I would do. But I get that it's like definitely not the hardest deck, right? I don't like hating on anti-meta decks because like when I was a kid growing up, playing anti-meta is like how I got into this game. It's usually like the cheapest option too. So for the non-engine techs, we have 3 Shifter, 1 Crow, 3 Ash, 1 Thrust, 1 Dark Ruler. I've been wondering why like no one's been playing Dark Ruler for pure Snake Eye, post Phantom Nightmare. And then we have 1 Feather Duster for a Thrust, 2 Called By, and then an Evenly Matched. So a lot of Thrust targets, even the Harpy's Featherstorm. You would think a deck like this would be playing 3 Thrusts, but it's only 1. We just run the 1 Crow to search it. Makes sense. 1 Zeus. Bro, I keep eating the ice. And then it's not even on purpose, it just goes through the hole. Alright. 1 Zeus, 1 Typhon, 1 Downerd. One of the another card, Lyrilusk, that protects you from getting FTK'd, 1 Recital. Underworld Goddess, Access Code, Blackluster, and then just like all the generic cards with Anima, Almirage. Extra deck doesn't even matter. 3 Droll, 1 Dark Ruler, 2 D-Fissure, 3 Cosmic, 2 Lightning Storm, 2 Evenly, and a Harpy's Featherstorm, 2 Harpy's Featherstorm. A lot of cards for going first. I mean, I guess D-Fissure's not technically for going first. I'm surprised there's just like not more Thrust anywhere in the main and extra. And then we have another cash list. This one running Ogre as well, but not running the Trap. It's also running 2 Dark Hole and 3 Bell in the main with 3 Shifter, like 3 Bell and 3 Shifter. But Bell hits wanted, so 2 Droll and a Moonlight. So it's a lot of non-engine going second. We have 3 Ash, 3 Shifter, 6, 9, 12, 15, and then 17 because we're running 2 Dark Holes. So 17 cards, not including Fenrir, in a 41 card deck is a ton. Like, I'm surprised he was not bricking. Baron DeFleur, Big Eye, basically the same exact extra deck, except we're running Apo in this one. I don't think we're running Apo in the other. Side, 1 Droll, 2 Moonlight Chill, 3 Lava Golem. I think Lava Golem and Kaijus just get worse because these cards are best when people are making Omni Negates. The only deck really making Omni Negates is pure Snake Eye. I guess you could argue maybe like tribute it over Appaloosa. But I don't like Kaijus and Lava Golem going into next format. 3 D-Fissure, 1 Feather Duster, 2 Lightning Storms, and 3 Solemn. Okay, and then we have another Labrynth. Like I said, that 1 Labrynth that got top 16. They are not running the level 6 areas. And they're running 3 Nibiru in the main. They're also only running 2 pots with Extravagance, and they're playing more traps, so like the older lab builds. They're still playing 3 Rollback, of course. Oh, no, they are running Butler. Okay, my bad. They're running like Destructive, Karma Cannon in the main, IDP, D-Barrier in the main. The other one was siding it. And then Terrors of the Overroot. And then because they're only running 2 Extravagance, they got a lot more 2-ofs. This was the Super Poly target I was talking about. So they're siding 3 Super Poly, but they're still having all the extra deck cards because why not? Another card I'm surprised I haven't seen more in Lab is just Barrier Statue of the Abyss. This deck can bring this card out so easy. And there's a hand trap that literally specials this from the deck when your opponent special summons from the main deck. But Dark is not the best attribute, so I get it. Like, SP Little Knight just outs it, right? 2 DD Crow, 2 Phantasme, 1 Magnemite, 1 Druis, 2 Lava Golem, 1 of the Barrier Statue, 3 Super Poly, and then for Floodgates, Normal Traps, Eradicator, DDG, and Full Force Virus. Okay, and then we are on to top 32. So second Mannadium list that got top 32. We have 3 Rise Heart, 3 Meek. See if there's anything different. We're running 1 of the tier field spell and only 1 of the primitive planet. We're actually still running 2 of the Scareclaw field spell and 2 Arrival. Then we're remaining 1 Dark Ruler, 3 Talents, 3 Thrusts, 3 Droplets, Called By, 3 Imperm, and 1 Evenly with 1 Mannadium Counter Trap again. 45 cards. Wow, this deck is kind of like... my man's was cooking. Thrust goes hard with Terraforming for sure. That probably gets destroyed by Duel, but what can you expect with Mannadium? I mean, better have it. That is definitely the mindset. The extra deck looks like pretty much just card for card identical. I feel like you gotta run 2 of the Scareclaw Link too, right? 3 Ash, 2 Bell, 2 Druis Worm. So we're siding Ash again. So we're seeing Ash in the side a ton more with these decks. Not even next format, this format. And probably even more next format. And it's like they're not just testing, you know, it's not like they're just like a regional. You could say maybe they're just testing for next format. Like they were trying to win this shit for sure. 1 Nibiru, 1 Feather Duster, 2 Lightning Storm, 1 Herald of the Abyss, 1 Destructive Cannon, 2 Evenly Matched. Okay, and then we have another Spright. This is a Melfi Adventure Spright. So the different cards, we're still running the Anglers. Of course, it's better with the Adventure cards. 2 Enchantress, 1 Griffin. Ibly, we're running Ibly. You know I love that card. We're actually running Smashers in the main still. We have 3 Rights, 1 the Equip Spell, 1 Fateful. Our non-engine going second. We're running a 45 card main too, by the way, to compensate for all the bricks we got. 3 Ash, 3 Fenrir, I guess we'll count it. It's 3 Droplet, 9 Imperm, 12, and then Talents 14. I don't know how this deck one's going second. You can't count the Faithful stuff's not that good going second. Yeah, this deck seems like it's lost in the past. But if you go first and you summon Ibly, I bet that shit was buzzing. Extra deck's pretty similar, except they're running the level 4 Melfi Synchro. 3 Shifter in the side, 3 Droll, 1 Red Resonator, 3 Cosmic. We're actually running Mistaken Arrest as another Floodgate. Basically just Droll, but kind of better. 2 Evenly Matched. And then we are on to Tearlaments. Danger Tier again. I think they actually ran like card for card, same list, except this one's running Zombie Vampire, where we saw the other list was running 2 Bahamut Sharks, which I'm still kind of unsure about. Like when I say, like, why would you not run Zombie Vampire? That just seems insane. And then the side's pretty much like exactly the same. We're siding 3 Super Poly, 3 Nib, 3 Droll, Scattershot, Called By, Feather Duster, 2 Lightning Storms, and a Cosmic. Then we got another Rescue Ace list. What the hell? Oh, yo, what just happened, bro? We got 60 cards. No grass. No grass is greener. We've never seen grass. We've never went outside. Okay. So we got 1 Airlifter, 3 Hydrant, 2 Turbulence, 2 Preventer, 2 Impulse, 1 Fire Engine, 3 Black Witch, 1 Jet Synchron, 3 Snake Eye Ash, 1 Birch, 1 Oak, 1 Flame Bridge. I guess before, because we got into the non-engine, we'll go over that real quick. So 60 card lists, all our non-engine meant for going second. 3 Ash, 3 Droll, 3 Valor, 2 Bell, 3 Cosmic, 2 Talents, 3 Imperms. So that's 3, 6, 9, 11, 14, 16, 19. 19 out of 60 cards. I don't even, maybe that's a lot. I'd have to do the math. I mean, Prank Kids was running 60 cards too, and that shit was good with Magician Souls. And the adventure package. That was kind of what everybody was on, except the 40 card list was the one that won, which is interesting. And then we have 1 Rescue Ace HQ, 3 Emergency, all the staple cards, 3 Bonfire, 1 Rhoda, 3 Wanted, 2 Original, 3 Cosmic, 3 Crossout Designator, and then the traps. And then we have the extra deck, Linkaribo, Access Code, Heat Soul, and we're actually running Heat Leo as well. Sunlight Wolf, Phoenix, Unicorn, Dark, Hita, 2 SP, Appaloosa, Baron DeFleur, and Formula for that Jet, but we're not running Savage Dragon in these decks that did run Jet. Something interesting to note. Typhon, side deck, we have 1 Fire Attacker. It's just like crazy. This is just like no Rescue Ace cards. I don't know how the hell this deck works. 1 Fire, especially without Populous, like what? 1 Fire Attacker, 3 Phantasme, 3 Dogwood for going second in time. Probably because they're like 60 cards is crazy. 2 Druid Worm, 2 Magnemite, 1 Nib, 1 Scatter Shot, 4 time cards, 3 evenly matched. That deck was crazy. We have a Super Heavy Samurai that got top 32. And this Runic Super Heavy Samurai. Yeah, better resolve that Fountain. That's all I'm saying. So we have 2 Big Benki, 3 Wakashi, 1 Scales, 3 Motorbike, 1 of the Booster, 2 Soul Piercer, and then we're running 1 Super Heavy Samurai Security, 1 Regulus, 2 Ash, 2 Valor, 2 Nib, 2 Fountain, 3 Tip, 3 Slumber, 3 Fire Freezing Curses, 3 Flashing Fire, 3 Destruction. We're running Runic Golden Droplet, and then 1 Dispelling and 1 Smiting Storm. So we have like, what, 20 Runic cards, and then 20 Runic cards, 6 Hand Traps, a Regulus, and 13 Super Heavy Samurai cards. I love it. I want to try this deck. Maybe I should try it on DB before we get Phantom Nightmares legal. For the extra, we have 2 Hugin, 1 Munin, 1 Jerry. I love calling that card Jerry. 1 Runic Mane, 1 Bagusco, 1 Emerald, 1 Omega, 1 Tri-Edge Master, 1 Coral Dragon, 1 Draco Berserker, 1 Dragite, 1 Chengyang, 1 DeFleur, and then SP Little Knight. Pretty solid. 3 DD Crow, 2 Danko Sekka, 2 Lava Golem, 2 Pankratops, 3 Dogwood for time, then 3 Droll Knockbird. So not really like a yeah, and then we have the card in the extra deck for time too, with the Runic cards. Pretty solid. Bet the in Lava Golem for time too. Like this side too a lot. Then what were we? Chimera. Okay, so for Chimera, we were not running the Runic cards. We have 3 Mythical Claws, 1 or 2 Barefoot, 3 Mirror Sword Knight, 1 Codal or 3 Codal, 1 Master Tal the Chanter, 1 Fallen Valbaz, 1 Light Fusion Substitute, Non-Engine, 3 Ash, 3 Valor, 3 Droll, 9, 3 Imperm, 12, and 3 Book of Moon, 15. 15 cards in a 42 card deck, 3 Chimera Fusion, 3 Branded Fusion, 1 Called By, 3 Prosperity, 3 Crossout Designator for going first. And then our extra, we're running 1 Baphomet, 1 Chimera the Illusion Beast, 2 of the OG Fusion, well not OG, but Chimera the King of Phantom Beast, 2 of those, 1 Guardian Chimera, 1 Albion, 1 Lebellion, 1 Mirror Sword Knight, 1 of the Tri-Brigade Fusion, I guess it's not necessarily Tri-Brigade, but 1 Magnum the Reliever. They are siding 3 Super Poly as well, and it's just 1 monster special summon from the extra deck, 1 monster in the hand. So I guess you can't Super Poly that, right? So not for Super Poly. 1 Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, 1 Mud Dragon, 1 Dragostapelia, 1 Garura, and 1 of the Typhon. Then for the side, we have 3 Fenrir, 3 Ghost Bell, 3 Cosmic Cyclone, 3 Super Poly, and 3 Evenly Matched. Okay, and then we are on to another Mannadium. This one only 40 cards. Still running 2 field spells, still running 2 arrival, still running the counter trap. Non-engine going second. We're just cutting down on like Samsara and stuff like that. And Fenrir apparently. 3 Ash, 2 Droll, 3 Imperm, 8, and then 2 droplets, 10 cards. And then we have the called by for going first. And we have talents, so 11 cards for going second. Interesting, they're running the tier field spell too and no Kashira field spell. Does play into Droll though. Extra deck is pretty much the same as what we've seen. 2 DD Crow, 2 Dogwood for time. 1 Bell, 1 Nib, 2 Druid Worm, 1 Magnemite, 1 Lightning Storm, 2 Cosmic, 1 Enemy Controller, and 2 Evenly Matched. Well, that's crazy, a lot of one-offs. And then we are on to another Labrynth. Let's see, we can pull up both right now. See how different they are. This suck when cards are like just that one. They're both 45 card lists. Are like these. That's crazy. They're both 45 cards. They're running 3 Butler, 2 Kuklok, of course, non-engine, 3 Ash, 3 Nib. And then we're running 3 Extrav. We're running 2 of the Archfiend's Ghastly Glitch, 2 Trap Trick, 2 IDP, 3 Transaction Rollback. I don't even know why I say that. Of course, it's 3 Transaction Rollback. Extra deck similar to what we've seen. Side deck, we have 2 Droll, 2 Bell, 1 Magnemite, 1 Druid Worm, 3 Sphere Mode, 1 Feather Duster, 1 Magic Deflector, 1 D-Barrier, and 3 Evenly Matched. Okay, and then... oh yeah, the next Labrynth. Next Labrynth is pretty identical. We're running 3 Butler again. All the traps are the same. These decks lists look like exactly the same. I'm not tripping, right? Yeah, they're just actually the same deck, and they both got top 32. That's crazy. So this lab deck might be nice if you're considering lab. Both these players, Carlos and John, both got it. Let's go. And then Raphael got top 32 with Trap Trick. Have not seen this deck in a minute. They have 3 Pudica, 3 Mantis, 2 Diarrhea, 1 Arakanokempa, 1 Vesiculo, 3 Murmelio, 3 Droll as our non-engine, so 3 Droll, 1 Ash, 1 Nib, 3 Evenly, 8, and then 3 Imperm, 11, so I wonder how far that Evenly was getting us. Then we have 3 Parallel Exceed, 1 Called by the Grave for going first, the Trap Trick Garden, 1 Talents, 1 Crossout Designator, 3 Prosperity, and then for the traps we have 2 Terrifying Trap Hole Nightmare, 3 Trap Tricks Haleta, 1 Floodgate Trap Hole, 1 Gravedigger's Trap Hole, 3 Evenly, and 3 Imperm. And then for the extra deck, 1 Dweller, 1 Baguska, 1 Time Thief, 1 Trap Tricks, Orphlasia, pretty much all the Trap Tricks, XYZs, Rank 4s, the one that reborns, and the new one. 1 Artifact, Durandal, 1 Ptolemaeus, the Satellar, that's basically a Dark Floodgate, right? Or like any attribute Floodgate. Pretty good card, Constellar Diamond. Remember playing in Duel Links last. 1 Zeus, 3 Trap Tricks Sarah, 1 Trap Tricks Oedipus, 1 SP Little Knight, 2 Ash Blossom, 1 Pankratops, 2 Gamma Seal, 1 Raigeki, 1 Feather Duster, 1 Lightning Storm, 2 Anti-Spell Fragrance, 2 D-Barrier, and 3 Solemn Judgment. Okay, that's pretty nice. And then we have another flu list. Anything different? I don't think the last one was actually running the continuous spell. This one's also running the Samorg, the baby Samorg. Non-engine going second. We have a lot of one-ups again, but no thrust this time. No thrust again in the main and side, but we have 3 Shifter, 3 Ash Blossom, 1 Feather Duster, 1 Dark Ruler, 2 Book of Moon, 2 Evenly. So that's 3, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 cards, pretty much. But Book of Moon's kind of a going first card with this deck because they need their shit to resolve so bad. And then we have some Troll extra deck cards. This is basically just a Troll extra deck showing you that I wasted my time even saying the names of those cards earlier. We have 3 Droll on the side, 2 Nib, 1 Called By, 1 Lightning Storm, 3 Cosmic, 3 Imperm, and then 2 Harpy Featherstorm. Onto Orcust. Bestial Orcust. Wow, this deck looks crazy. So we have 1 Magma, 2 Druis, 2 Libellion, 1 Horror, 1 Skeleton, 3 Girsu, 3 Nightmare, sorry, is organized weird. 3 Phantasme, the Horus package, 3 Imseti, 1 Wind, 2 Gold Sarcophagus, the best card in the game, branded Regained, 2 Talents, 2 Runic Fountain, 3 Runic Slumber, 3 Runic Tip, 3 Freezing Curses, 2 Destruction, 2 Flashing Fire, 2 Smiting Storm, and then 2 of the Counter Trap Orcust Crescendo. For the extra deck, we have 2 Hugin, 1 Munin, 1 Jerry, 2 of the Orcust, the Evening Star, the rank 8, 1 Zombie Vampire, 1 Typhon, 1 Orcust Orchestrator, 1 Dark, 2 of the Link 2, and then 1 IP Masquerader, 1 SP Little Knight, and 1 Link Spider for Nibiru or the token. I like Link Spider going into the next format, to be honest. 3 Drone Lockbird, 3 Bell, 1 Feather Duster, 1 Called By, 2 Lightning Storms, 2 Cosmic, and 3 Evenly Matched. Wowzer. And then Phantom Knights also got top 32, which is absolutely insane. And they're actually running the Horus package, so that's cool. We're running 3 Torn Scales, 3 Boots, 2 Ancient Cloak, 1 Ragged Gloves. I should know these card names in my soul, so I apologize to the Phantom Knight gods for forgetting. 2 Fenrir, 1 Wind, 3 Imseti, 3 Water Enchantress, 1 what the hell? 1 Wandering Griffin, 1 Jackalope, 1 Sukanoko, 1 Nezi, 3 Sarcophagus, 2 Right, 1 Faithful, 1 of the Equip Spell, 3 Super Poly, 1 Talent, 1 Foolish, 1 Rhoda, 3 Droplet, 1 of the level 4 Brigadine, 3 Fogblade. And then for this extra deck, we have 1 Garura, 1 Mud Dragon, 1 Leviair, 2 of the Scrap Dragon, 1 Time Thief, 1 Zombie Vampire, 1 Typhon, 1 Zeus, 1 of the Burning Abyss, Link 3, or Link 2, level 3, 2 level 3s, 1 IP Masquerade, 1 SP Little Knight, 1 Dark, 1 of the Phantom Knight Link 3, and then 1 Underworld Goddess. And then for the extra deck, we have a Time card as a rank 3, Arrow Shark, and then we have 3 Impulse, 1 Rescue Ace Fire Attacker, 2 Phantasme, 2 Dogwood, 3 Droll, and 3 Cosmic Cyclone. Then we go into our Rescue Ace list. Just pretty standard 41 cards. We have 3 Valor, 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, and remaining Fire Attacker with 3 Impulse. 1 Amirage, 1 Link Grebo, pretty much generic extra. For the side, we have 3 Droll, 3 Bell, 1 Called By, 1 Feather Duster, 2 Lightning Storm, 2 Econ, 3 Designator. And then there's that Fire King deck that's not out. And then for our last top 32 deck, we have Labrynth. Pretty standard 40 card list. They're running 1 IDP and 1 Drama Cannon. Their hand traps again are 3 Ash and 3 Nib. A lot of them run 3 Nib as their go-to hand trap. This one's running Field Spell. It's also playing Psychic and Punisher in the extra deck, and the Fire King rank 8, and a Cowboy for Time. 3 Drone Lockbird, 1 Valor, 1 Bell, 1 Barrier Statue again, the dark one, 1 Magnemite, 2 Druis Worm, 3 Crossout Designator, 1 Deflector, D-Barrier, and DDG as our normal trap floodgates of choice. Okay, and then, so we had 5 Labrynth, 4 Fire King, 4 Rescue Ace, 3 Spright, 3 Mannadium, 2 Tearlaments, 2 Vanquish Soul, 2 Kashira, 2 Flu, 1 Super Heavy, 1 Chimera, 1 Trap Trick, 1 Orcust, 1 Phantom Knight. And then we see that Tearlaments was definitely the best deck to like convert and top cut, even though there was only 2. Vanquish Soul also not really that bad in terms of conversion, being in top 2 and top 4. So Vanquish Soul, when it did get to top cut, it went very far. Labrynth probably having the worst conversion. Rescue 8's also having a terrible conversion. Fire King's not doing too bad. 2 making top 8, 3 making top 16. But, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed the Mega Remote YCS rundown of all 31 out of 32 decks. I'm still going to say 32 in the title because we basically went over every deck. If you like it, please support me on Twitch or subscribe and like. And that's all I ask. Have a good day, Duelists. Peace.